Hello people, I'm Sky Demolisher and welcome to episode 6 of From the Collection Fridays, a series where I take things from my collection and show them to you, my audience. And this week it is my Marvel Select, or Diamond Select, Sabretooth. Doesn't he look ferocious? Now, I picked up this figure I think about 2 years ago on sale from a web store that no longer exists. So it probably makes no point mentioning where I got it from. Anyway, as you can see, this figure does have a little bit of articulation. I figured I'd just start off with a close-up because it's easiest to do. So there are articulation in the head, but not very much. It's not on a ball joint, so there is sort of limited up and down motion, and it's mainly just side to side. There's a joint at the shoulder there, so the arm can come in and go out, and they're very, very tight. Sorry, focus, try to keep it in focus. They're very tight joints. There's another swivel and turn at the elbow, and the hands have forwards and backwards movement and can be fully rotated for posing. So that's the upper side of him, and I'll just zoom out. He comes with this base with very limited add-ons. So like if you Google an image of this, it shows a lot of stuff that's along the edge here and down the back, and there's a hell of a lot more that went to it. But the figure that actually got released was not like that at all. It's limited to a click-in part here, this little, I'll take them off the base actually, this little bit here, and a sign which I'll see if I can get it to focus on it. Has the claw marks. So if I pick it up, see there's little peeg holes for his feet there. You don't necessarily have to keep them both pegged in, but I tend to try to peg both just because it's a little bit more stable that way. So he will sort of lean back. There's not great articulation when it comes to his hips or his legs, but I'll show you those in a minute. So I'll just give you a nice, I'll see if I can zoom in a bit for you. There we go. I'll give you a nice slow turn. So some people don't like the paint apps on this particular figure, but I do like them. I actually bought him because I was buying some 3 3/4 scale Wolverine figures, and I thought, well, Sabretooth is bigger than Wolverine, so you know this figure will fit in perfectly fine with the 3 3/4 inch Wolverines. They in fact do not, and if you hold on just a second, I will go and get one. And back again. So as you can see, that Wolverine is dwarfed by Sabretooth. He only comes up to his waist, and that is the completely wrong scale. So I think I need to find like a Marvel Legends Wolverine, something that's a bit closer to the right scale. So I think if this is 3 3/4, I need something that's what, 5 or 6 inches to fit in correctly with his actual scale, because this Sabretooth is, I think, close to 7 inches tall. So it's a very, very tall figure. You know, like if I hold him there, he could crush Wolverine's head in his hand if his hands were articulated in such a way that you could actually crush them. So I think the reality is this figure is sort of more like a movable statue, but it doesn't have a great level of articulation to make it a bit more poseable to what you want. You're pretty much, in my case, I feel limited to sort of this kind of villain pose, wild pose thing. So I'll just rip them off the base again for you. And as you can see, there's a sort of like a socket joint in the hip. So his legs do move out. He can do the splits if you want. Because the knees don't bend properly at the front, that also somewhat limits his pose, and his foot has a sort of up and down motion and the 360 twist, but that's still pretty limiting when it comes to actually standing him up, which is an unfortunate thing. He also has, excuse me, the waist articulation, but once you turn him like that, it's pretty obvious that he's somewhat not articulated properly. But I like the sculpt of it, the sculpting of the muscles and stuff. I think they're quite good. I like the paint apps. I sort of wish that the hair was done a bit more like the fur trim here, but I think the reality is that from the comics that I remember, Sabretooth did have a mane that was different colour to his actual hair, so having the two colours be different is okay. I don't know how well this will show up, but there is sort of like little, no, it's probably not going to show up well. There are little like black flecks through the hair, so it's not super awesome, but I think all around he's actually quite a neat figure. I mean, it's not like I bought him to to do photo dioramas or pose him out in the yard hunting Wolverine or anything. I just wanted something that was sort of cool, something that would fit in with the Wolverines that I was getting, and I got this Wolverine and his sort of that brown coloured Wolverine costume. Unfortunately, not so long ago, the claws off that Wolverine were broken, and I wasn't informed about it, so I didn't find out until fairly recently that they'd been snapped. And I had completely forgotten that I actually had this tank top Wolverine as well. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Share it with people that you think might enjoy it, if it's something that they would enjoy. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.